Hi guys, so today we're going to do these smoke nails, and I used pigments to get this look, and I kind of went kind of heavy on the pigments. So here's a variation that I did that is a lighter, on the pigments, so you could see a little more of the sheer smoky look to it, which I think is more typical. And then I did another variation. This one is not using pigments. This one is using the jellies, which I make my own jellies, but they do have them. I think there's a company called Jelly, and they do have them by other companies that you can get. They're like really sheer polishes. So anyway, today, or right now, we're gonna do this. And so there's a couple ways you can do it. You can do it with the gel, white gel, and some alcohol, and you can do it that way. And you would still do the same technique as far as putting it on as I'm going to do. But today I'm going to do it with the cream coat, Delta cream coat. I will put the names of everything, of products and stuff I use in the information box for you. But this is an acrylic paint. Get it at a craft store, and then just water. So that's what we're going to do right now, and I'm using a detail brush, and I believe that this detail brush is by LE, Light Elegance, and it's your fine point. So I'm just going to put some paint down here, some white paint and some water. And then we're going to just start, and I'm just going to do just sort of a swirl down the middle like that. And you can do it as fine as you want, because, and also, smoke kind of does kind of a swirly gig thing too. So anyway, so I'm going to get some water up here, and I'm just, doing it on this here, my little water things over here. And so I've got plenty of paint on here. So now I just want to kind of get this a little bit more sheer looking now. Just kind of, and you'll, with practice and stuff, you'll figure out, how you want it to look. If you want it to look, smaller, sheer, whatever it is. Now I've noticed that as you add water, when you go down like this, it kind of pulls at the bottom, and I just kind of, push that off. You can use your blow dryer too if you want to. So this, I want a little bit more sheer areas than this. So I could use a little more of I could take some of my acrylic paint, mix it over here in water, and just do it this way, or I can just do straight paint and use it and just kind of pull it where I want it for whatever look I want. And I want to kind of get this a little bit more like some smoky areas, some that are kind of, let me see how it's looking so far. But I'm just going to pull some of the paint from the edges, my edges, where there's, if you can see it, it's a little bit darker on the edge. Now if you like that look, you can leave that darker edge on there, but if you need a little more of the cloudy white in the middle, then you can pull it from those sides, or you can get more paint and water if you want. But see how it's pulling at the bottom though? Now I probably used more than I needed to, but as you practice, you'll figure that out. I can lightly take some of it off with my finger too. So I think I kind of like the way it looks right now. And I've noticed is that they don't turn out the same each time. I mean, each time mine has turned out completely different. So we're going to go ahead and I think go ahead and use this like this, you know, and like I said, if you didn't want the edges to be as, you know, white, as dark on the edges, you can just pull soft, you know, put a little bit of water in your brush and pull it from the sides if you want to. So like for instance, I'm going to pull a little bit off of this side over here. So maybe I'll add a little bit more. So I have like straight paint here and then water and paint, you know, right over here. And I'm just going to grab a little bit away from that. Just a little bit away from that. Okay, I don't really want too much over there. So I think I'm liking it just the way it is. So I think we're going with this for mine. Now I'm going to blow dry it just a little bit. So you can put a coat of, you know, clear polish over this, you know, or Bundle Monster smudge free, or gel over this if you want to. So if you're afraid you're going to mess it up, I'm not gonna do that just to save time. I'm just going to take a little bit of my gel top coat, gel polish top coat, and so I can add pigments. I'm just going to kind of lightly brush some of this on, and you know, depending on how heavy you want your pigments, if you want it like the lighter one over there, you know, like the first one I showed you, if you want it lighter pigments like this, or if you want them heavier like this, you know, and how much gel, you know, you want to put on here. But don't brush too heavy because you don't want to take off, especially if you didn't put some over it as a top coat before you did this. So we're going to go ahead and set this for 30 seconds under an LED. Put my paint away. I love this smoke look, it's kind of fun. And so once again, mine is pretty heavy with pigments. So the pigments we're going to use, just because I've had them for years, I mean, this is what I have. You know, there's so many pigments nowadays, you have so many choices, and you can do whatever color you want. But this one is these are made by Princess Nail Design, and they're solvent resistant. So this is what I'm using for my pink, and this is what I'm using for my green. Real pretty colors. So I noticed on these, I kind of went heavy-handed on the green, so I think I'm going to do more pink than green on this one. But like I said, it's all personal preference, so you know, whatever you want to do. So this is still tacky just where I put that gel. So we're going to use that tackiness, and I'm going to use a different brush. Let me see, to grab some of the pink. I'm going to do the pink first, and I'm just going to kind of lightly, carefully dab it on where I put the gel. So depending on how heavy you want this on, now if you know, want it really heavy like my nails are, you know, then you just put more on of the pigments. And you could have put more gel on too if you know, cover it more in the gel if you wanted it heavier. Kind of want it not as heavy, I think, as my nails are. So now I'm going to grab some of the green and just kind of dab some green up here. And I wanted some of my white showing through, so I didn't put the gel over all of the white, but you can. If you want it just all completely color showing, then you can do that. So then I take another brush that I use for my pigments when I'm brushing off excess pigment, you know, powders. And I'm just going to kind of go over this and lightly, you know, do this. Now, so see, I think it looks really pretty. It's not as heavy though. It's not as heavy as this one, you know, but if I want to, probably add some more gel over it. If I wanted heavier than that one, I could do that right now. But either way, if you're gonna not add any more pigment, if you like it like this, and I kind of do, because I kind of like being able to see some of the sheer smoke, look through it, but with some color. So now I would go ahead and put a top coat over it, whatever kind of top coat you want. And if you want it to look more, like 3D-ish or whatever, I would do gel, and I would probably do 2 coats of gel on it. So I'm going to go ahead and do 1 coat and just go lightly generous, because you don't want to take all the rest of your pigments off, and you also don't want to, brush them over where you don't want them either. Now, if you had them on there somewhere you didn't want to, you could have taken a little bit of alcohol on a brush and, like if you got on the black part and you didn't want there, and you could have cleaned that away. I like, I like mine really good, just the way it is. So I'm going to go ahead and put it under here for 30 seconds. Start putting my powders away. And I actually kind of like it all the different ways. I like it, heavier, the heavier pigments like this for this look. I like it in the lighter that we're doing today. And I like it also, where we did it like this too. I think it looks really cool. So as soon as this gets done, I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so this is our finished nail. I think it looks really pretty. I hope you can see it good enough. So I hope this helps you. I hope you have fun doing these. They're really pretty and elegant. And please like and subscribe, and they'll send you a notice on my next new video, which hopefully will be soon. Thank you. Bye, guys.